So our first speaker we have today is Ella Anderson. It's her fourth speech from the Competent Communicator, and her title is Say Like You Mean It. Thank you, everyone. Applaud for Ella.
The word today is on the board. All right, y'all. I want you to repeat one word, actually a saying, after me, okay? So repeat it, just like how I'm saying it. I want you to repeat after me. All those instructions, just to say repeat after me. Okay. Say it like you mean it.
Say it like you mean it.
Okay. Well, that was okay. Okay. How about we give it another go around? Okay. A little bit more oomph. Say it like you mean it.
Say it like you mean it.
I mean, raise your hand if you thought that was meaning it. Oh, okay. So, our volunteer, Miss Jessica, can you please show us how you say it like you mean it? One time, and really say that phrase like you mean it. Say it like you mean it.
Say it like you mean it.
That is not the direct, that is not the way, it's okay. So basically, with Say It Like You Mean It, my goal of this speech is to literally explore what really is saying it like you mean it. So before we do that, I am going to offer a saying that you all should know. What is it? Say what you mean and mean what you say. Who has heard that saying before? All right, a few of you. Okay, I have a theory. I believe the true meaning of this is say what you mean unless you're being mean and mean what you say only when you got it. You're feeling mean, okay? All right, so my theory is that really, in actuality, when we say what you mean and mean what you say, it's only say what you mean unless you're being mean. For example, let me tell you a story. How many of you have walked into McDonald's one day, right? Whether it be you, whether it be a friend, anything. You walk into McDonald's, you're ready to order your nice, juicy, crispy chicken McNuggets, right? The golden boot, the nice little shapes. When you bite into it, the flesh of the cartilage that's not real chicken just comes off and you just feel great, right? How many of y'all have gone in line and it's taken 10 or 20 minutes to get your meal? Anyone? Okay, so some of y'all have gone to some good McDonald's. Is that what you're telling me? Okay, so how many of you have seen someone walk in and their order is not right? They may be missing a straw, they may be missing one of those nice medium-sized cups, and they're like, where's my food? Right? It's usually a guy. The guys usually go off like that. For some reason, I don't know. Who has seen that? My meal's not right. Who? Any of y'all? Okay. So, back to the saying. Say what you mean unless you're being mean. So, would you say that man, when he's going off the employees, he's being mean? Right? Well, what is being mean? What is being mean? What is truly being mean? Is it being honest? So, when we go back to say what you mean unless you're being mean, I personally feel that we don't tell the truth and we don't say what we mean unless we're actually being mean. So how many of you have gone into McDonald's, it's a nice sunny day, and you're feeling good, and they may get your order wrong, and they may ask you, well, ma'am, how was the food, or how was this? And it was cold maybe, or it wasn't quite right. So you go in and you tell them, I'm feeling good, so you're not gonna wanna ruin their day. So when they ask you a question, you say, I'm good, knowing you're not good. How many of you have done that? How many of you have lied about being good? We can just go, scrap the McDonald's, how are you doing? And you're feeling like crap, right? You failed your OChem test, you're not doing good. And someone asks you how you're doing, and you say good when you're not doing good. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay, so were you saying what you meant?
No.
Okay, now, what if you had a horrible, bad day, someone just stepped on your toe, you had it, everything was just going into shambles, you were just done and irritated, and someone asks you, how are you doing? Would you tell them how you were? What would you say?
I'm fine.
You really say you were fine? Because I know
Well, I would
personally...
say with an inflection.
With inflection. So
Yes.
you would mean a little bit of what you were saying,
Right.
basically. There would be more truth to it.
Right.
Back to say what you mean unless you're being mean, or mean what you say only when you're mean. So all these means, all this stuff, all this things. Let me give you another example. So as far as the say what you mean, we've established unless you're being mean, it's not okay to say what you mean, or you're not going to be completely honest and forthcoming with people, right? Well, how about meaning what you say only when you're mean? One last example for y'all. So imagine you have a twin sister, kind of like me, right? I have a twin. You have a twin sister. You see her every single day of every single point in your life, and she may have upset you. Maybe she took your pink dress when you weren't looking, wore it all day, and you were upset. You were having a bad day. So you already were going to say what you mean because you were being mean, and you're already going to mean what you say. So with the part of meaning what you say, let's say she irritates you, which my sister does sometimes. Let's say she comes to you and says, oh, Ella, I have your dress, I have this, and I'm really, really upset. I failed my OChem test. I'm feeling upset. So I'm walking to her, and when she asks me, hey, Ella, you know, how does this dress look at me, or how are you feeling today? I'm going to be honest with her, right? If I'm being mean, if I'm feeling mean, I'm going to be more forthcoming and honest because of how I'm feeling. So what really is saying what you're meaning and meaning what you're saying? So all that to say, to clear up if there's any confusion, because I'm a philosophy major. Sometimes we do that a little bit, confuse people. So I'm clearing it up. My theory is, why should we only say what we mean if we're just being mean? Why should we only be forthcoming to people and being honest? The rainbow of honesty, the red representing truth, the green representing clarity in all life, the blue representing being cool with people, okay? Why should we not be honest and forthcoming with ourselves unless we're being mean? Why can't we just always say what we mean? Why can't we always just say it like we mean it? All right, so one more time. Please, this time with feeling, okay? Say it like you mean it. One time. You only have one go to do it, okay? All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Say it like you mean it! Thank you.
Okay, everybody just walking in, you have ballots next to your seats. Just fill it out with notes and feedback for our speaker, Ella. Okay, when everyone's done with the feedback for Ella, just pass it to the end of the table and they'll put it in the little black buckets. And before I introduce our next speaker, I'll introduce our reports. We have the odd counter, grammarian, and timer. Odd counter will just count your filler words. Grammarian will make sure you have like subject verb period, and timer will just make sure you stay in time. And also, our word of the day is Killian. It's a noun, and it's a group of 1,000. So if you use that, you get brownie points and snaps from everybody. Can everybody snap? Okay, and now introducing our second speaker of the day, we have Mel Cochran Davis from our other Toastmasters in Athens. and she will be presenting her second speech from the Evaluation and Feedback for Effective Coaching, and her speech title is The Unfair Advantage.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, because I'm sure there's some guests here. Job interviews are one of the most terrifying experiences. Over the past few months, the organization I work for has had quite a bit of turnover. And as a hiring manager and as a panelist for interviews, I added it up and I sat through 68 different interviews over the past few months. As a Toastmaster since February, I can tell you it was one of the most painful experiences of my life. So many filler words. I'm sitting there trying not to count them, trying not to get weird about it. Toastmasters get weird about filler words. These people were fantastic when they came in, dressed professionally, early, friendly to my receptionist, which is a big deal because she will tell on you. When we got to those easy softball questions, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Why are you interested in this position? Tell me about your strengths and weaknesses. Boom, boom, boom. People are just rolling off their tongues and they're feeling good. And then we came to the scenario questions. We use the STAR interview process, which is the situation, task, action, response, so we can kind of see how we think they're going to react in the workplace. We ask one of those scenario questions. So, describe a time that you disagreed with a coworker. How did you handle it? Like, maybe? No, don't fall apart on me now. And when it finally came to them, they would either ramble on, throwing every dart they could at that question, hoping something stuck as a good answer. I'm trying to write this down. Oh my gosh. Or they would come up with the worst thing possible, realize it about 3 words in, and just shut down. It was terrible. And I thought, these poor people, they just aren't ready. At least jot it down on your notepad. Here's some of the really awesome things I've done, be it in your job, be it in volunteering, anything you've done, have it ready so you glance down and say, oh, that's a good one. Rattle it off. But I get it, because I was awful at interviews. I always had to lean on my work experience in order to get positions. I once vomited in a job interview. Vomited right there in a trash can in the room in front of my panel. I was so nervous. But I got the job because the hiring manager knew me and knew my work and understood that I could do the job, and that one has followed me. It's really something that I've had to develop, and Toastmasters is where I got it from. I recently finished my MPA here at Georgia back in August. Hey. And with that, you want to try and get a better job. That's kind of the point of trying to get a higher degree, especially when you're old as dirt like I am. So I was applying for jobs. I got interviews with an outside agency as well as the agency I currently work for. I was rolling through those interviews with confidence because I joined Toastmasters and I was competing in table topics, which is weird, but I ended up being oddly good at table topics. And I went all the way in the competition and won. I got big trophies in my office, so I was so proud. It gave me confidence, but I started treating job interviews like table topics. Take the question, process it, and then just answer it in bits that make sense. A beginning, a middle, and an end. Every time I interviewed, I got all sorts of compliments. The outside agency they said, you were one of the best interviews we've ever had. This is great. I interviewed with my own agency the first interview, and I got a call from one of the panelists that works with me. He said, hey, I just want to let you know you really impressed the panel with that interview. I said, well, that's really great. He said, they really loved how you stopped and answered those questions. But don't worry, I told him that you've been through a lot of bad interviews, and that's the only reason that you were able to knock it out of the park like you did. I hung up the phone, And I thought, well, that was a backhanded compliment. It wasn't because of that. It made it sound like I had some sort of unfair advantage. Oh, I've been working at Toastmasters trying to get better at this. Second interview came along. It was a presentation. Now, I had sat through some pretty bad presentations with my interviews, but I had practiced. And Toastmasters told me about, don't look at your slides. Okay, I didn't look at my slides. Make sure that you're not reading the presentation. That sort of thing. So I said, okay, I got through this. So sure enough, I roll through, get that presentation done. I get the phone call again from the same guy. Hey, want to let you know, you just knocked that presentation out of the park. Absolutely amazing. Fantastic job. Panel was really impressed. But don't worry. I told him that you present in front of the mayor and commission all the time, and you've had that opportunity that a lot of other people haven't had. Hung up the phone. There it goes again. I somehow have a secret unfair advantage because I present a lot. No, it was Toastmasters. Everything I've done, I'm not vomiting anymore. I'm confident. I'm doing a great job in interviews. It's because of things like this. And I can't stress enough how important it is to work at it because it can really help you in ways you would never anticipate. So with that, I would just encourage you to keep on going and you'll reap the benefits. Thank you.
Woo!
Take a seat. Now, people just walking in, you'll have ballots right next to your seats. You won't use them, but everyone else that has been here, write feedback for our speaker, Mel. Okay, now introducing our last prepared speech of the day. We have an old member making his icebreaker, Onur, and the title of his speech is The City of Life.
Hey guys, thanks for coming out today. So, this past summer, I had the opportunity to go and study abroad in Spain. And I stayed in Madrid for 3 weeks and Barcelona for a week. And these are major cities, like huge cities, urban sprawl, everything. And so for the first time in my life, I got to experience what it's like living in a city. I've grown up in the suburbs, and then I came here in Athens, which is kind of like a city, but not really a big city, just like a small town. And I fell in love with city life. I'm not here to convince you to, I'm not pro-city life, I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to share my experience, why I love it, and why I can't wait to graduate and move into the city and begin my career. So, to start off, there's 3 things that really caught my eye with the city. The first of which is the culture. Second, we've got the food, because everybody loves food. And then third, we have transportation. So, if you guys ever walk into an interview, or not an interview, say you're talking with recruiters, you're getting to know people, figuring out your opportunities, your options in the future, and you ask people, why did you choose to work where you work for? Does anybody know the most common answer? I heard it back here somewhere, the people. Exactly, the people. The people make or break what you do in life. And that's one of the things I love about the city, it's the people. You are surrounded by a Gilead of people that are your age. For instance, here at the university, most of the students are around our age. They're young adults, 18 to 24 years old. So you're used to it, and it's very relatable. You can go on the street, strike a conversation with somebody, and it's fine, completely normal. In the city, there's a lot of young people, and there's a lot of stuff to do. So I find it great that if you've got nothing to do in the afternoon, you're not limited to just, I guess I'll stay at home and watch Netflix. Or, I mean, you can't do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can go out and meet new people or hang out with friends. And I love those endless possibilities and options that the city offers you. Now, moving on, we've got food. Everybody loves to eat. It's a part of life. It's a requirement of life. And one of the things I love is every city has something unique about them. In Spain, the food was all foreign, but it tasted really good. One of my favorites is the ham there. They are huge into ham. They have different types of ham, and they've perfected the art of seasoning it just perfectly. So when you just take a bite, your mouth instantly salivates. And even in cities in America, like I go on Snapchat, and one of the stories is Tastemade, and they show foods from around different parts of the world. And one city that I notice frequently is, I think it's San Francisco or San Diego, some part in California. And they have the wackiest foods, the spiciest tacos. You've got the most bitter, I don't know, anything you can think of. And all of that happens in big cities. And I would love to just go out one day with my friends, and instead of watching a movie or doing whatever, again, nothing wrong with those things, but to just go out and try new food. Because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You taste something that's so spicy your mouth's on fire for 10 minutes and you need to just chug a glass of milk. Or you taste something so sour you can't control your face and you're just like... And in addition to food, we've also got transportation. In a city, everything is nearby. You think, oh, I want to get food. Well, where's food? Oh, it's here and here. I can just walk there. It's 2 minutes, it's 5 minutes, all of that. And most cities have some sort of transportation. Buses, like MARTA. We have MARTA here in Atlanta. And it makes it really convenient, and you don't have to worry about it too much. And recently, there's been new trends of, I'm sure you guys have seen the bird scooters. So those have been fun. It's a very fun way to get around, even small cities like Athens. And in addition to that, there's also, in Atlanta, I've noticed there are bikes where you can just rent a bike to where you need to go, and there's these bike stations everywhere, so you can just drop it off when you're done. They're very similar to scooters. And those are the things that really caught my eye, and I've never, again, before this summer, I haven't really experienced city life, so I didn't know what I was missing out. I just read in books that, oh, you know, city life, there's a lot of pollution and congestion because there's a lot of people living together. It shortens your lifespan, and it's not healthy for you long term. But something really clicked, and I thought, I've got one life, and I'm only going to live for so long. I should make the most of it and get the most out of it. And thank you, and that's why I hope I move into a city as soon as possible after college. Thank you.
Okay, so on your ballots, you can provide feedback for Onur, and also you see best speaker, vote for the best speaker of the day. It was between Ella, Mel, and Onur. We're all speakers of time. We're all speakers of time.
Yes, they were.
We don't know how to spell it.
It is your first speech.
So now moving on to our second part of the meeting, the impromptu speaking, where all our new members get a chance to speak. So if you're scared, we will choose on you. And time to introduce our topic master of the day, Adanna.
Hi everyone. This is actually my second meeting. As he said, I'm Adanna Onwuka. This is my first time being Table Topics Master. For the questions today, they're related to the theme of forever. So, first question of today. Oh wait, let me first explain what being a Table Topics Master is. I'm actually going to call on one of you guys to answer a question that I chose, and you come up and just answer it how you would like. Just do what you think is right. Let's start off with a lighthearted question. What song would you completely hate being stuck in your head for all of your life, and why? By the way, I don't know most of y'all's names, so. That's true. Girl, right there, in the striped red shirt.